Well, it is the Western Pacific here in late September, and it really is holding back no punches at this time. We currently have a strong typhoon making landfall there into Vietnam, a tropical storm near the Ogasawara Islands, and also a tropical depression just towards the east of the Philippines. Hi, everyone. Meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you today. Well, on the 30th of September 2013, we're going to cover all three of these areas out here in the Western Pacific. But first things first, let's talk about our Typhoon Wutip now bearing down on the Vietnam coastline here. And already people are making preparations, and for good reason. The storm system is packing winds upwards about 65, gusting up to 70 knots, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. More so, I do think this is going to be a very big wind and wave maker out here. Now, this is courtesy of VTC, a news agency out of Vietnam there, and just showing some of the photos of many of the Army personnel and Navy personnel, and also a lot of the fishermen all joining together to try to bring all of their fishing boats ashore and try to shelter down everything, tie things up, and just be ready for the storm system as it does come ashore. So a lot of people making the proper preparations, especially right near the coastlines. I do think that there is the risk of a storm surge, especially along the northern periphery of this storm. And this is just showing you the microwave imagery, the morph microwave imagery, and you can really get an idea of where the highest cloud tops are at this time. One thing, yesterday we had a very defined inner eye, but it does look like this went through an eye wall replacement cycle. You can see that inner eye go away, and this outer eye wall starts to form up. And right along the northern periphery of that is where we're going to be seeing the worst of the storm surge and the strongest of the winds come ashore. But still along the western periphery, we do see a lot of the convection out in this area, and that's where a lot of the heaviest rainfall is going to be, because the northern portion of the storm looks like it got tore apart a little bit there by the island of Hainan. But often, as we see storm systems move into the Gulf of Tonkin here, we do have a lot higher sea surface temperatures in this area. So really, we're seeing some last-minute intensification out of this just prior to landfall as the storm moves ashore. And really, right now, JMA does have it as a Category 1, but I wouldn't even push it up to a Category 2 equivalent of a hurricane if this was in the Atlantic. Fairly defined eye near that center of circulation. You could just see really the bulk of the intensity and how far that outer eye wall does extend out. And really, these are where we're going to be seeing these winds at typhoon strength as this comes ashore. So really, besides that, we are going to be seeing those strong winds right near the immediate coastline. Waves up to about 7 to 8 meters high, very well possible as well as this does push ashore. This is from the JMA forecast for the high waves across the Western Pacific. And I did see a few models actually going up to about 8 to 9 meters high as well. So very intense waves near the coastline while the fishermen are bringing all their stuff in. But also, once this does make landfall here via JMA's track, really into the evening hours, probably around 8 to 10 p.m. local here on Monday, it is still going to be bringing a lot of heavy rainfall, especially right near the coastline in this mountain range. Actually, just inland, you could be seeing upwards about 200 to 300 millimeters of rain. So I do think that's where the highest risk of flooding is going to be. But a little bit farther towards the west, we're also going to be looking at the risk of some flooding in portions of Thailand. Main reason is we have our storm off here towards the north, but you see that moisture inflow coming in from the south out of the Gulf of Thailand, and that's going to be hitting these areas and also causing some heavy rain in the Cambodia. So really some wide-reaching effects out of this. Also some rain bands pushing in the southern portions of China, but the worst is going to be right around that center of circulation. And these areas in the darker purples, these are where you likely could be seeing some typhoon strength winds. So if you are out here and you are in any of these areas where I'm going to loop ahead here and just show you into, well, basically Monday evening where the storm's going to be making landfall. If you're in these areas of the reds or the purples, definitely a very high threat of some destructive winds coming ashore, really just right near the coastline, and then farther inland it's more of the heavy rain threat. But along the northern periphery of here, so around Hontin, off door towards Vinh, you're really going to be seeing that threat of storm surge as well as this does continue to push ashore. Hanoi, on the other hand, farther off there towards the north, not so much of a wind threat out here. Actually, you may be like thinking to yourself, really, there is a typhoon here, because the winds are just going to be kind of breezy around 15 to 20 knots off here towards the north. Really, the worst of the winds are going to be down here, but you're still going to be seeing those outer rain bands extending farther out there. So don't be surprised if you see a passing shower and even a strong thunderstorm or two as this does continue to push ashore, and especially right near the coastline along the northern periphery. I do think that some of these outer rain bands could bring some water spouts in as well. So a lot of stuff happening with the storm system. It is a fairly strong typhoon. Good news, this is just looking ahead by Tuesday early morning hours. It completely weakens out here. Center of circulation starts to move over towards Laos. You're still going to be seeing some wind flowing on shore, and this is also going to be bringing in some rain showers with it as well. Pull up the MSL for the same time period, also seeing some heavy showers there. So those will be lingering out for the next couple of days, very well likely. But as far as the intense winds by Tuesday morning, those really should be starting to back off. So that is all for right now, everybody. I know I said I was going to cover these other two tropical systems, but actually just decided to make another video on that. So please go check that out here at the webpage. Probably going to put out another article on both of these as well. So stay safe out there, everybody, and thanks for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them down in the comment box below.